guys, and welcome back to another bonus video of looking at my cringy art from back in the past. So last time we looked at some of my elementary and middle school art, and now we're going to look at some of my high school art. I had to separate this one into its own thing because there's a lot. So this stack right here are 3 different sketchbooks from the art school that I went to in high school, and then the stuff on the left is like the regular anime stuff that I used to draw. I'm gonna go through these pretty quick, or as quickly as I can. These are some value scale things. Actually, let me move some of this stuff out of the way. The reason why is because there's not a whole lot in my high school sketchbooks. I've seen a lot of like from other YouTube artists who went to you know, an art high school and stuff. They have like really incredible sketchbooks, and mine has these like garbage line drawings, and like the art school I went to was pretty tough. The teacher gave me a 2 out of 5 on this, so sometimes I thought I did pretty good, and then I would get like terrible grades. This was like a blind contour drawing, and everyone's got stories about, you know, situations or problems that they had with some of the art teachers that they had growing up, and mine's no different. Oh, and the reason why, let me just stop for a second. The reason why this is so terrible looking is because one day when I was working on it in high school, I was doing a life study outside of my house on like my front porch, and I left my sketchbook outside, and the sprinkler got a hold of it, and everything like melted together. So some of the paintings that were in here I can't even like look at or open from anymore. Like there was a painting here, and it's like it's underneath. Let's see. So anyway, my story was no different. This is another one that's ripped. The teacher that I had, she was very strict, and if people didn't paint similar to her, then she didn't grade them very well. And the issue that I had with that was I was learning how to paint. These are not very good, like, but it's high school, you know. I think I was a sophomore at the time, and see, my drawings were pretty good. They were alright. I think this is me wearing a wig. Oh no, wait, maybe it's my sister. I don't know. But my drawings were okay for high school, and sometimes I got creative. So that was pretty good, pretty cool. That's me. But I remember doing a painting one time. Pretty sure I found an image similar to this online, and I was coming in to get my stuff graded, and my teacher took one look at the stuff that I brought in, and literally to my face in front of the whole class told me, here comes the swear word, told me that my painting was bullshit. And yeah, this one's all melted together. There's like a painting inside this. And I remember running from her classroom crying, and the next day, I think that's it for that one, I refused to go to her class. So, you know, everyone's got their stories. This one's not bad. Oh, it's kind of a weird angle to show it in. This is me. Can you tell that that's from high school? Where high schoolers look miserable? But other than that, what is that? Other than that, I loved my high school. Like, I was a drawing and painting major, but I actually probably enjoyed printmaking way more. Oh, and then we have some anime in there, of course. And I used to, like, in between all the artsy-fartsy stuff, I drew a lot of comics and stuff too, as a lot of my friends did. We were all kind of rebellious and didn't want to draw things to the norm, you know. But, you know, oh, this was like a commission. Somebody wanted to do like a story with a bunch of animals and more anime. I don't think I showed this to my teacher. But anyway, textbook. I don't think that, I think that this was just like a doodle book. There's like 5 things in there that were actually class related. But printmaking I enjoyed a lot, and if I had the means to do it in my house, I probably would do more. There are some types of printmaking that you could do that don't require like a printing press and stuff, but maybe one day I'll do something like that and show you guys. But for printmaking, we were able to design our sketchbooks however we wanted, and so I used a lot of paper and construction paper and drawings because I did not want to go through the same thing that I went through in my drawing book. So I don't know why I chose Pac-Man, maybe just because it was easy. Here's another drawing that just kind of got stuck in there. These were some prints that I did, some intaglio prints. I think this was like a tub of paint thinner and another jug and some fabric. Nothing like special. And Legolas, see, he still made an appearance in high school. Oh wow, intaglio. Weird drawing. Value scale. Some of these pages I never finished. But you would think like these are really easy grades. All we had to do was excuse me. All we had to do was make pages that like we wrote about what we learned in the printing process. And so it was really, you would think as a high school student I would finish it, but I didn't. Some of these are cool though. We had to wear a hat. We had a crazy hat, self-portrait. We did a lot of self-portraits. Characteristics, multicolor of printing. Ooh. Some of these are stuck together because I painted the pages like a big dum-dum. You would think I would have learned my lesson that wet and wet don't really go, but I guess I didn't. Intaglio stuff. And then I wrote it in pen for some reason. I don't think I got a very good grade on that. Oh. And people are like, you went to art school. I'm like, yeah, but did I do a good job? It really wasn't like, I went to an art high school and I loved it and I did learn some things, but I didn't learn how to do any of the stuff that I really do now. Like, I learned about some artists and I learned about, you know, I really just, it felt like I was going there to draw more so that I could get better at drawing. That one was cool. Keep walking, the perspective always changes. I thought that was so clever. I had like stop signs in the background. This is a print, multi-print. And moving on. Like I really didn't start painting and stuff until college, and you guys will see in my next one, like the college and beyond video, that I do a lot too. I did do a lot of painting, but mostly it was like watercolor and stuff. This whole folder, just like in the last one, I had a whole folder of like Inuyasha, and I'm not about to spoil it. I had a whole folder of Harry Potter. This is a whole folder of Inuyasha. I got really back into anime in high school. I'm just gonna flip through these as fast as I can. Here's a whole comic that I made. I got really into Inuyasha in high school, and it's funny. Here's Kagome playing DDR. Can you tell what time I lived in? And it's funny because this folder exactly is the folder of artwork. That I had where I talked to my husband for the first time before we started dating. We were in literature class in our sophomore year of high school. This is pretty sure this is, yep, all Inuyasha. A whole sketchbook full of Inuyasha. And I remember he came up to me and he was like, whoa, you know how to draw anime? And I was like, yeah, I love it. And then he told me that by the bus loading zone at the end of the day, that a bunch of people who liked anime would go and hang out. So he's like, oh, you know, after class today, like when we go to walk for dismissal, I'll show you where it is. And so we went together, and he was the first person, because I didn't start at the art school in my freshman year. I started in my sophomore year, so it was really my first year there. And I had been there for like a month. I remember going to school and like crying every day because I didn't have any friends. And I'm trying to figure out a way to make this not glare so much. Let me tilt it up. And he was like the first person to come talk to me. And at the time, I was dating somebody else. But he went to Marine boot camp. And while he was away, I started to get a huge crush on my husband. Well, he was my boyfriend for a very long time. This is so good, man. I was not afraid of drawing anything when I was younger. I just drew whatever. I didn't care if it looked bad. I didn't care if it looked good. I just drew and drew. Here's Kagome in some Inuyasha pants with some Pikachu slippers. Ooh, background. Hey. Perspective, which I like never did. I never was taught how to do perspective, so I'm kind of garbage at it. So yeah, the rest is history. And we've been together ever since. So that was Inuyasha, all Inuyasha. And then I did a comic. It's still up if you want to see it. I'll leave a link for it. It's not very good. So, but I did have a Pokemon comic back in high school. Some of the pages were colored, very few of them though. It was called Pokemon Jumpstart, and it was just a story about a girl who starts her Pokemon journey, and her name was Amy, and I think it was Tyler, Amy and Tyler. See, I was trying to draw backgrounds, some backgrounds and houses, and this is another one that's like 3 chapters long. And I had a pretty decent amount of people following it, and then I kind of let it go, just because I think by the time that I like started getting to stuff, oh yeah, this is when I tried doing CG. I am not very good at that. This was around the time where I think I was like getting to my senior year, maybe, as I was getting to the later pages, and I just didn't have time. And then I was worried about getting a job and going to college, and then I started using Copic markers in the back. I think this is when I first started using Copic markers. And look at all that detail. Oh my god, the floors in the background. Pretty good, me. Not too shabby. Yeah, that one's pretty good. Not bad, me. Pat on the back. Never finished that either. I did a lot of starting big projects, and while I would work on them for a long time, and then I'd have like a big chunk of like decent drawings and art, I always had a hard time finishing things because, you know, when you start a story that's big like that, who knows how it's gonna end, and being a kid, I didn't plan that out. So here's just some extra sketches and doodles. This is from a comic that I did called Love Song that I actually like self-published. I have a copy of it somewhere, and one day when I find it, I'll show it to you guys. Oh, this was like a how to draw thing that I did. This was probably, I did that probably in my like freshman year. Just like a collage of anime stuff. Ooh, and you'll see a lot of these in this folder. I'm about to go through the last folder. This is from Gaia Online. In high school, my boyfriend, now husband, and I used to do a lot of collaborations where he would like make characters and make stories, and I would draw them. And so on Gaia Online, they had a forum called ABR, or the Avatar Battle Royale, and you could draw your character coming in, starting to fight like with their fists up and be like, I'm ready. And then someone would draw like their character, let's say like punching you in the face. And so then you would draw a comic responding to that. And so you would go back and forth. And so this was like a, I don't remember what was happening at the time, but there was like this big battle going on. And this was like my character and my husband's character like helping in this big battle. And this one part of the battle, I drew, gosh, what was it, like 8 pages? 8 to 10 pages, something like that. I mean, some of it's really quick, and so it's not very good, but some of the parts were decent. But that's kind of where I got the name as Scomicmaker from, because I drew a lot of comics. This is from that comic that I self-published. I actually redrew all these pages for when I went to publish it. And then this folder, a lot of the stuff has been taken out of it now. But basically when I was in high school, my friends and I each had a section in this folder. These are all comics that I made about stuff that happened when I was in school. So I would draw stuff, anybody could draw stuff, and they could each, as long as they had at least like more than 3 things, they would all get sections in the folder. More Gaia Online. And this folder was like, I'm not kidding, like my favorite thing in the whole world. More than video games or anything. Like, I absolutely loved this folder so much because it had like all my friends and I, like all of our art was in it, and we all made stuff about each other, and it was the first time I'd really like collaborated on something. And I to this day, every time I think about like the comics I would draw with my friends, I get all warm and fuzzy. But some of their, like, this is just my stuff that was in that folder because it was like a really big thick folder. But I do have, anybody who had submitted stuff, I still have all their stuff because I loved it. This is a picture of me with like an I Love New York shirt, but it says T.O. on it because that's my husband's name. But at the time we were dating. And so it's like, I love Tony. Final Fantasy. Look at that detail. Hey girl, not too bad, me. Oh, and here's another version of like, I would draw something and then I'd be like, man, if I color it or shade it or whatever, what if I mess it up? So I would like make a copy and then shade the copy. Very strange, but I did that. This was the day that I puked. I don't know why I decided to draw that. Sketches, doodles, these were some OCs of mine. They all had like, they all were elemental, had different elements. This was a comic. Woo, it's big. It's like 3 pages long so far. I had never finished it. But I used to, like I said, I used to do these big grand projects that I would never finish because they're just too big for any one person, especially in school, to do. But this was a comic that I made for my husband for his 16th birthday. See this page, and it was never finished colored. It's not as like nearly as filled in as this is. And it was about gifts that all of us had given him for his birthday. This is a short story. This one's actually done. One of the very few comics that I've actually finished. So if you want to read it, I'll leave a comment. One day, I actually want to redo this because it's just cute and it's silly and stupid, but being from a high school girl's perspective, like, it was just a short story about a girl and a guy who were dating, and it was getting close to Christmas time, and the boy tells his girlfriend that he has to go away for Christmas instead of being able to spend it with her because his family's going out of town or something. And it's about, they kind of get into an argument about it because she doesn't want to like make a big deal that she's gonna miss him, and so when he asks to spend time with her, she just says she's busy, but it's really because she knows she's gonna be in a bad mood when they're together. It's very high school and very stupid. And they have this like big ending, this grand ending, but where she like finally tells him how she really feels, and then they kiss and they're like, oh, let's go spend our own Christmas together, like the day before he leaves. I think I'll rewrite a little bit of it because it's kind of juvenile, but I was really proud of it. And it's actually still up online on Smack Jeeves, so if you want to read it, I'll leave a link for that. Here's another version of I think it was the Avatar Battle Royale that I did this for. This was not bad. Hey. Not bad, not bad. It's got a little red in there, you know, a little pop of color. These were some original characters. I think these were mine and these were my husband's. He had like a dude with a bag on his head and a bunch of belts or something. But his name was Boku, and he loved that character when we were in high school. He really, really did. And then the Gaia account that he had that character on got banned because he bought an item that on the marketplace that was like that somebody had gotten unfairly and he didn't know because he just bought it in the marketplace, so his account got banned. It's very stupid. But anyway, wow, I guess I went through that faster than I thought I would. Real quick, I also wanted to show you guys, it took me a little bit of digging, but I found a printed version of one of the comics that I made that I showed you guys. It is like a homemade book. It's been hand stapled on the sides, but my now father-in-law helped put this book together, and this was probably like my favorite thing that I made towards the end of high school or fresh out of high school. Like, I put a lot of work into this. All these are colored with like Copic markers, and then I would scan them and erase all the text that I had written and type everything in. And let's see, I think it's like 47 pages worth of a comic, and it was about a girl who lives with her brother, and cliche anime, her brother gets into an accident, and she ends up having to live in like a boarding school where she takes up singing again, which used to be her passion. And this is my terrible CG coloring. So I thought you guys might get a kick out of that, so there's that. I am going to do one more video about some of the stuff that I had from college. I don't know how long that one will be, but I hope to see you all there, and thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you all soon.